students, how are you? I hope all are you good. Welcome back to another class. Today let we start SST chapter number 2, human resources. यानी मनुष्य के द्वारा बनाए गए इसमें. So let we read in this chapter human resources, population change, population growth and economic development, distribution of population, composition of human resources. So human resources refer to people and their contributions. So human resources are important as they are skilled to be able to make the best use of nature to enhance the existing resources and also create more resources using the knowledge and technology that they possess. Hence, human resources are considered highly significant. ओके सो इसमें बात हो रही है कि जैसे जैसे लोगों का कंट्रीब्यूशन होता है ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज जो है बढ़ते जा रहे हैं और उनकी नॉलेज के अकॉर्डिंग जो नई नई तकनीक टेक्नोलॉजी के अकॉर्डिंग तो मनुष्य के बनाए हुए साधनों का बढ़ोतरी होने लगी है. सो ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज पीपल आर अ नेशंस ग्रेटेस्ट रिसोर्सेज. Nature's bounty becomes significant only when people find it useful. It is people with their demands and abilities that turn them into resources. So hence human resources is the ultimate resource. Healthy, educated and motivated people develop resources as per their requirements. जो healthy, जो स्वस्थ और शिक्षित लोग होंगे वो क्या करेंगे, अपना जो है रिसोर्स को डेवलप करने के लिए उनका जो है उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट ज़्यादा होगी. Human resources like other resources are not equally distributed over the world. So they differ in their educational level, age and sex. So their numbers and characteristics also keep changing. यानी कि अदर रिसोर्सेज के मुकाबले जो ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज है उसकी ज़्यादा मतलब वो है क्योंकि दे डिफर. वो किस तरह से डिफरेंस है, डिफरेंट है और उनकी शिक्षा के हिसाब से, उनकी एज के हिसाब से, उनके लिंग को लेके तो वो डिफर यानी डिफरेंट है. इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज, ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज की महत्वता. Human resources are utterly significant for the development of both the country and the individual. Highly educated and trained people can produce more and also efficiently as well as assist other people in improving and using their capacities and potentialities to the utmost. Okay, with our developing skills and aptitudes, the individual has become increasingly proficient in overcoming many previous hurdles. So there are many different ways by which people become a valuable resources for the country. The contribution of those who do not work for wages is also very relevant for a country. Many women in our country do not work outside their homes. Okay, so they perform household chores. When women are educated, they do their housework and educated their children is a better way than where they are uneducated. By taking care of children, women contribute to the development of the country as their children would become human resources in the future. Okay, so those तो एक ही हिसाब से वुमेन यानी पुरुष और स्त्री दोनों का ही कंट्रीब्यूशन जो है ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज में बराबर का योगदान है. बहुत सी महिलाएं होती हैं जो बाहर नहीं निकलती है ना, काम नहीं करती, घर में जो है अपने परिवार को पालती हैं, अपने बच्चों को पालती हैं. लेकिन अगर वो एजुकेटेड हैं तो वो आप सोचिए कि वो पढ़ी लिखी है तो वो अपने बच्चे को पढ़ा लिखा कर और किसी काबिल बनाकर अगर वो घर से बाहर बच्चा निकलता है तो क्या होता है, उसके पास स्किल होती है, पढ़ाई होती है और उसका बराबर कंट्रीब्यूशन होता है उसकी नॉलेज को लेके. ठीक है, ओके. नाउ एडुकेटेड देयर चिल्ड्रन इन बेटर वे व्हेन दे आर अनएडुकेटेड बाय टेकिंग केयर ऑफ चिल्ड्रन. वुमेन कंट्रीब्यूशन मतलब देश का विकास करने में और औरतों का जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है वो बहुत ज़्यादा है. प्रधानमंत्री कौशल विकास योजना was started in 2015 aiming to train 1 crore Indian youth from 2016 to 2022. The objective of this scheme is to encourage aptitude towards employable skills by giving quality training to probable and existing wage earners. Distribution of population. The distribution of population refers to the pattern in which people are spread across the world. So in other words, the way in which people are spread across the Earth's surface is known as the pattern of population distribution. So over 90% of the world's population lives on about 30% of the land surface. The distribution of the population is uneven. Some areas are crowded and some areas are sparsely populated. The crowded areas are South and Southeast Asia, Europe, and Eastern North America. Hardly any people live in high latitude areas, tropical desert, high mountains in areas of equatorial forests. Many more people like north of the equator than south of the equator. Almost 3/4 of the world's people live on two continents, Asia and Africa. 60% of the world's people stay in just 10 countries. All of them have beyond 100 million people. So density of your population, the number of people living in a unit area of the Earth's surface is the density of population normally expressed as per square meter. The average density of the population in the whole world is 51 persons per square kilometer. South Central Asia has the highest density of population, followed by East and Southeast Asia. Factors affecting distribution of population. Geographical factor, तो क्या क्या फैक्टर हैं ये जनसंख्या के उसके डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के. Number 1, geographical factor. The geographical factors affecting the distribution of the population are as follows. Topography. So what is topography? People always prefer to live on plains rather than mountains and plateaus because these areas are suitable for farming, manufacturing, and service activities. The Ganga plains are the most densely populated areas of the world, while mountains like the Andes, Alps, and Himalayas are sparsely populated. Climate. People usually avoid extreme climates that are very hot or cold, like the Sahara Desert, polar regions, or Russia, Canada, and Antarctica. So climate का भी बहुत इफेक्ट पड़ता है हमारी population पे. ठीक है. Soil. Fertile soil provides suitable land for agriculture. Fertile plains such as Ganga and Brahmaputra in India, Wanghi, Changjiang in China, and the Nile in Egypt for densely populated. यानी कि जहाँ पे मिट्टी उपजाऊ होगी ना, फर्टाइल सोइल होगी, वहाँ पे जो आबादी ज़्यादा होगी, क्योंकि वहाँ पे खेत होंगे, खेती बाड़ी होगी, अनाज मतलब सब्जी अनाज और ये पैदावार होगी, तो वहीं पे आबादी होगी. ठीक है. जैसे गंगा नदी है, ब्रह्मपुत्र है, ये सब इनका जो जल है, पानी है, इनकी वजह से तो इनके किनारे बसे हुए हैं लोग. वाटर. पीपल प्रेफर टू लिव इन द एरियाज वेयर फ्रेश वाटर इज इजीली अवेलेबल. द रिवर वैलीज ऑफ द वर्ल्ड आर डेंसली पॉपुलेटेड, while deserts have spare population. Minerals. Areas with mineral deposits are more populated. Diamond mines of South Africa and discovery of oil in the Middle East lead to settling of people in these areas. Social, cultural, and economic factors. The social, cultural, and economic factors affecting the distribution of population are as follows. First one is social. Areas of better housing, education, and health facilities are more densely populated. Example पुणे, यानी कि जहाँ पे बेटर घर मिलेगा, शिक्षा अच्छी मिलेगी, हेल्थ फैसिलिटीज ज़्यादा मिलेंगी, तो वहाँ पे क्या होगा, उधर की साइड आबादी ज़्यादा होगी. लाइक एग्जाम्पल इसमें पुणे. ठीक है. कल्चरल एरियाज विद हाई कल्चरल एंड रिलीजियस सिग्निफिकेंस also attract the population. For example, every year several Hindu visit Haridwar and often settle there because of the place's religious importance for them. है ना, जो रिलीजियस जगह होंगी उन पे भी लोग ज़्यादा जाना पसंद करेंगे. बहुत से लोग सोचते हैं कि अरे चलो यहीं पे हम अपना प्लॉट ले लें, यहीं पे मकान बना लें, यहीं पे रहने लगे. वाराणसी, जेरूसलम and Vatican City are some other examples of cultural factors. Economic. Industrial areas provide employment opportunities. Large number of people are attracted to these areas. Osaka in Japan and Mumbai in India are two densely populated areas. कहाँ पे और आबादी कहाँ पे ज़्यादा मिलेगी आपको? जो इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया होंगे, है ना, इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया होंगे, वहाँ पे फैक्ट्रीज वगैरह होंगी, वहाँ पे लोग काम के लिए जाना पसंद करेंगे कि हमें वहाँ काम करना है, वहाँ जॉब करनी है. तो जहाँ पे वो जॉब करेंगे वहीं पे वो रहना प्रेफर करेंगे. ठीक है. तो ये दो जगह हैं वर्ल्ड में. कौन कौन सी हैं? ओसाका इन जापान और मुंबई इन इंडिया. Population change growth. Population change refers to a change in the number of people during a specific time. The world population is not stable. जो संसार की जो जनसंख्या है वो स्टेबल नहीं है. ठीक है. It has increased manifold due to changes in the number of births and deaths. तो ये क्या हो रहा है, दिन पे दिन बढ़ती जा रही है. Until the 1800s, the world's population grew steadily but slowly. Larger numbers of babies were born, but they died early too. So this was as there were no proper health facilities. Why? क्यों मरते हैं वो? क्योंकि उन्हें प्रॉपर अच्छे से हेल्थ फैसिलिटीज नहीं मिलती हैं. ठीक है. So sufficient food was not available for all the people. Farmers were unable to produce enough to meet the food requirements of all the people. As a result, the total increase in population was very low. In 1804, the world's population reached 1 billion. 155 years later, in 1959, the world's population reached 3 billion. This is often called population explosion. In 1999, 40 years later, the population doubled to 6 billion. The main reason for this growth was that with better food supplies and medicine, deaths were reducing while the number of births remained fairly high. Births are usually measured using the birth rate, i.e. the number of live births per 1,000 people. Deaths are usually measured using the death rate, i.e. the number of deaths per 1,000 people. Migrations are the movement of people in and out of an area. Births and deaths are the natural causes of population change. The difference between the birth rate and the death rate of a country is called the natural growth rate. The population increase in the world is mainly due to a rapid increase in the natural growth rate. Population increase, population steady, and population decrease. So birth rate, death rate, birth rate, death rate, birth rate and death rate. Migration is another way by which population size changes. People may move within a country or between countries. So emigrants are people who leave a country. Immigrants are those who arrive in a country. देश छोड़ देते हैं ना बहुत से लोग जो emigrants होते हैं. Countries like the United States of America and Australia have a gained in numbers by in-migration or immigration. Southern Sudan is an example of a country that has experienced a loss in population numbers due to out-migration or emigration. The general trend of international migrations is from the less developed nations to the more developed nations searching for better employment opportunities within countries. A large number of people may move from the rural to urban areas, searching for employment, education, and health facilities. Population doubling time. The above table on the previous page reveals that in 1750, the world's population was 750 million. In 1850, it grew to 1,000 million. It then doubled to 2,000 million in 1930. I.e., after 80 years, again it was doubled in 1975 to reach the 4,000 million marks. It means that it took 45 years to double the population. We know that 750 was the period of the Industrial Revolution. From 750 million in 1750, the population increased to 1.2 billion in 1900 in 150 years. So in just another 100 years, the world population had increased to 6 billion in 2000. So during the next 40 years, the world population doubled from 3 billion to 6 billion. So this is how the population is bargaining in the world. जैसे पता है जनसंख्या ना बहुत बढ़ती जा रही है दिन पे दिन और जो ये मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा गलत है. The table given alongside gives the population increase in India between 901 and 2011. The population in India has also increased similarly. So look at the steepness of the population curve during 1901 to 2011. Why does the population increase rapidly? बहुत तेजी से बढ़ी है जनसंख्या. In the past too, the population was growing, but the number of people living longer was less than at present. So there were no proper health facilities, sufficient food was not available for all the people. Farmers were unable to produce enough to meet the food requirements for all the people. So nutritious food was not available and hence they did not live longer. So now sufficient nutrients, food and improved medical facilities have lengthened life स्पेस। यानी कि क्या होता था ना, पहले समय में क्या होता था, बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब बच्चे भी मरते थे, बड़े भी मरते थे, और ज़्यादातर मौतें जो है बच्चों की होती। प्रॉपर फूड ना मिलना, प्रॉपर न्यूट्रिशन ना मिलना, है ना, डॉक्टर्स का कम होना, हॉस्पिटल्स कम होना, प्रॉपर इलाज ना मिलना। तो पहले क्या था, डेथ रेट ज़्यादा था और जो बर्थ रेट था वो कम था। लेकिन आज के टाइम में क्या है, सारी फैसिलिटीज सबको मिल जाती हैं, तुरंत एक कॉल पे डॉक्टर आ जाते हैं, लोगों के पास पैसा है, अच्छे से अच्छा इलाज होता है, खाने की कोई कमी नहीं है, फ्रूट्स, वेजिटेबल्स, अनाज अच्छे से मतलब भरपूर मात्रा में। तो आज के टाइम में क्या हो रहा है, बर्थ रेट बढ़ रहा है और डेथ रेट जो है घट रहा है। ठीक है, सो चेंजेस इन द पॉपुलेशन ऑकर ड्यू टू चेंजेस इन बर्थ रेट। सो BR डेथ रेट, BR birth rate, and DR death rate. And natural growth rate, NGR. The birth rate, it is defined as a total number of live births per 1,000 population. The death rate is the total number of deaths per 1,000 population. The difference between the birth rate and death rate is called the natural growth rate of the population. The population increase in the world is mainly due to a rapid increase in natural growth rate. In the past, the difference between BR and DR was not much. It resulted in slow population growth. In the past 250 years after the Industrial Revolution, improvement in medical and health facilities led to a decline in the death rate, so which has fallen without any major decline in the birth rate. So this has led to an increase in the natural growth rate. In India, the birth rate during 1901 to 1911 was 49, while the death rate was 43. So the natural growth rate was 6. So this means only 6 people increased for every 1,000 people during 1901 to 1911. So during 1981 to 1991, the birth rate was 31, whereas the death rate was 11 and the natural growth rate was 20. The increase in natural growth rate increased from 6 in 1911 to 20 in 1991. So this is the reason for a high population increase in India. Okay, so the growing population must be provided with the proper amenities of life, including nutritious food, clothing, housing, education, and health. Only then can be population become an effective resource of our country. Composition of human resources. The composition of human resources of a country explains the basic characteristics of the total population: age, sex, literacy, occupation, and ethnicity, tribe, language, and region are different traits of composition of population. So 3 major components of the population with age, structure, sex composition, and literacy levels are as follows. So age structure. The age-wise distribution of people helps the government to plan for them on various aspects. The population is divided into 3 age groups. 0 to 14 year, 1. Second is 15 to 64 years, and third 65 years and above. So the share of the working age group 15 to 64 is always greater than the other age groups. In high and middle income countries, a high proportion of people belong to the working age group. In low income countries, young people form the bulk of the population. In developed and rich countries, the number of old people is more when the population comprises more elderly. There may be a shortage of people. Working in a factories, farms, and offices, the government has to make arrangements to sustain their life with good health and care. Sex composition. Sex composition or sex ratio means the proportion of males and females in the total population of a country. Okay, so male की जनसंख्या ज़्यादा है, female की कम है. Sex ratio is defined as the number of females per 1,000 males in the population. Suppose the sex ratio of a country is 1,000. So this implies that the total number of males and females in that country is equal. So if the ratio is 1,100, it implies more females than males in the country. So this figure suggests that the sex ratio is favorable to females. And ratio is less than 1,000, say 900, it means that the sex ratio is unfavorable to females. Okay, So among different regions in countries of North America, Latin America, and Caribbean and Europe, the sex ratio is in favor of females. By contrast, Asia has a lower sex ratio, which is unfavorable to females. तो कहीं पे फीमेल्स के फेवर में होता है सेक्स रेशियो, कहीं पे नहीं होता है. ठीक है, वैसे ज्यादातर लोग मेल्स को ही प्रेफर करते हैं कि बेटा हो जाए, बेटा हो जाए, बेटा हो जाए. बेटी तो बिना उसके आ जाती है, बिना मांगे आ जाती है, और एक बार में 3-3, 4-4 एक घर में होती है. So in India, the sex ratio is 1943 according to the 2011 census. So next census will be declared in 2026. So among different states and union territories, Kerala 1084 and Puducherry 1037 have sex ratio above 1000. So on the contrary, the union territories of Daman and Diu 618, Chandigarh 818, Dadra and Nagar Haveli 774, and Delhi 868. And the states of Haryana 879, Punjab 895, and Sikkim 890 have a sex ratio of less than 900. So the following factors are mainly responsible for an unfavorable sex ratio in India. 1. Biological more males are born than females. जैसे मैंने भी बताया ना कि मेल को ज्यादा प्रेफर करते हैं कि बेटा हो, बेटा हो, बेटा हो. बेटियों को कोई नहीं चाहता. Number 2. Males get preferential treatment while females are neglected. Females die at all stages of life for various reasons. So the female children died due to negligence of deliberate attempts. है ना, कितनी तो मौतें होती हैं औरतों की. The inhuman practices of female infanticide and female feticide are also responsible for an adverse sex ratio. Besides, the women also die at the time of deliveries. डिलीवरी के टाइम पे प्रॉपर जो है साधन न होने की वजह से elderly women often get neglected during old age. So India has 34% of its population in the younger age group. So it also has 5% population of the old. It means 39% population is dependent on 61% working population. So the government has to make efforts to provide health and education facilities to the younger section of the population. So it also has to make arrangements to train people who have reached the working age group. तो अब सरकार की पहल है कि इस तरह से भ्रूण हत्या ना हो, लड़कियों को ना मारा जाए. या कई जगह ऐसा होता है ना, औरतों पे ध्यान नहीं देते, डिलीवरी के टाइम उनकी डेथ हो जाती है. जो एजेड महिला होती है घर में, वो औरतों को नेग्लेक्ट करती हैं. तो ये चीजें अभी भी हैं कुछ जगहों पे. डिपेंडेंसी रेशियो, पॉपुलेशन इन द एज ग्रुप ऑफ 0 to 14, यानी कि वो बच्चे हैं, एंड 65 प्लस वो बूढ़े हैं. तो 0 to 14 वाली एज ग्रुप और 65 प्लस वाली एज ग्रुप जो है वो वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन जो 15 से 64 साल के हैं उनके ऊपर डिपेंड है ना, फॉर इट्स सब्सिस्टेंस. It is called dependent population. So when the proportion of dependent population is higher, it puts more pressure on the working population. अब आप खुद सोचो, 0 से 14 साल का बच्चा है, वो डिपेंड किस पे, पेरेंट्स पे डिपेंड है. उसके बाद 65 प्लस लोग हो जाते, सोचते हैं अरे मैं तो काम ही नहीं कर सकता, मैं तो बूढ़ा हो गया. तो वो किस पे डिपेंड हो जाते हैं, वो फिर बच्चों पे डिपेंड हो जाते हैं. तो वो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाती हैं चीजें. तो जो वर्किंग रेशियो तो कम है ना, और जो डिपेंडेंट रेशियो है वो ज्यादा हो जाता है. लिटरेसी इज एसेंशियल फॉर एवरी ह्यूमन, मतलब पढ़ाई लिखाई बहुत जरूरी है. सो इट मीन्स द एबिलिटी टू रीड, राइट एंड अंडरस्टैंड or simple message in any language. If any person can read but cannot write, he or she is deemed to be illiterate. मतलब कोई बंदा इंसान है जो पढ़ सकता है लेकिन लिख नहीं सकता, वो भी अनपढ़ की ही कैटेगरी में आएगा, अनपढ़ की ही श्रेणी में आएगा. So what do you infer from the given table? So low income countries have more illiterates than the middle and high income countries. More than 2/5 of females are illiterate. Compared of females, a greater proportion of males are literate. So regardless of income status, females are discriminated against in getting education in these regions. The adult literacy in India was about 74% in 2011. Similarly, the proportion of adult illiterates is high in low-income countries. So in India, a person is literate when he or she is age 7 and above and can read, write, and understand the simple statements in any language. So at the time of independence, only about 1/6 of the population was literate. So in 2011, 74% of the population was literate. So more males are literates than female. It is due to discrimination against girl children going to school. यहाँ पे भी देखो हो गया ना, मतलब भेदभाव कर दिया होता है। अभी तो मतलब जो आज का टाइम चल रहा है, जो जैसे डिफर हो गया है, पहले से बहुत डिफरेंस हो गया है, तो आजकल तो लड़के लड़कियां सभी दोनों बराबर ही पढ़ रहे हैं। इवन लड़कियां ज्यादा पढ़ती हैं लड़कों से। बट पहले क्या होता था कि लड़कियों को घर में चूल्हा चौका सिखाया जाता था और लड़कों को बाहर पढ़ने भेजा जाता था। तो लड़कियों को अनपढ़ रखा जाता था कि अरे नहीं, ये तो लड़कियां हैं, महिलाएं हैं, इनकी शादी होगी, ये खाना बनाएंगी, बर्तन धोंगी, कपड़े धोंगी, ये सब जो ये मेंटेलिटी थी। और ये अभी भी कुछ गाँव में, कुछ जगहों पे ये मेंटेलिटी है। तो इसको भी सुधारने की बहुत जरूरत है। पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ एंड इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट। Population growth and the economic development of a country are positively correlated. Developing countries usually have a high rate of population growth, which adversely affects their food supply chain. So many African countries suffer from food problem due to this reason only. Food scarcity ultimately leads to malnutrition, which results in an unhealthy population and hence low productivity. Moreover, a high growth rate of population creates a scarcity of houses for residential purpose. Rents of land and houses shoot up. Poor people are forced to live in slums which lack basic amenities of drinking water, electricity and drainage. It leads to the spread of diseases, thereby adversely impacting the health of slum dwellers. Indicate facilities of education and health services, lack of employment, etc., lead to an increase in many social crimes, increase in population cause depletion of natural resources, and degradation of the environment. Economic development is programs, policies, or activities that seek to improve the economic well-being and quality of life for a community. It is therefore essential to keep the population increase under control. China and Japan have been able to enhance economic development by keeping control on their population increase. So in India, however, family planning programs have not been commensurate with the high rate of population increase. It is injurious to the economic development of the country. Hence, sincere efforts are essential in this direction. So my dear students, the chapter is in here. I hope you all are very well understand all chapters. So we will meet to the next class. Thank you everyone.